What's up, Dark Soldiers, and welcome to my first episode of Goodwill Souls. So basically you're looking at all the gear I got on my pilot episode, which I'll put a link in the bottom here, but the whole point and idea, if you want to try it, is you need to unequip everything except maybe a mask to hide your face, but you put it all in your item box. You're going to start with nothing, no weapons, no armor, and you're going to go on invasions or ask invaders if they could give you some gear to wear. Now you only ask once for each item. So I like to get the weapon first. So I asked if he could spare a weapon that I can use in the arena to duel. And as a gentleman he is, he dropped me an awesome weapon, which you'll see. Now, the first thing you get, that's what you gotta use. If he gave me like a broken thief sword or something, then that's what I'm stuck with. But he gave me a Murakumo, and it's actually already upgraded, which is awesome. And as you'll see here, it's actually a blue one. So that was very generous, and I really appreciate that. And as you can see, he sent me back to my own world in a fitting manner. So now here I'm asking, could you spare a Helm? And I'm surprised he didn't kill me while I was messaging him, because a lot of people, they won't hesitate to attack you after a little bit if you're away from your controller or keyboard. But he was nice enough to drop me an Elite Knight Helm there. And I cut out all the extra stuff just to highlight whenever I picked up the items. So here I'm asking if he could spare some chest armor, and he is like, okay. Now you don't want to tell anybody anything beforehand. You want to leave it totally random and up to them. If they ask you like strength or dexterity, just say, hey, your pick. You know, it's up to you. So it was very nice of him to give me that. Really, looks good on this character I'm building here. So oh yeah, and I was going up that ladder, I actually spotted this item way over here. So with that Mastodon Great Shield, I'm making an exception to the rule where now if you find something in somebody's world, you can actually use that too. So as you see here, I got my gauntlets off this guy. Now when I went to get these leggings, so I showed up, right, and I read the message, and we gestured here back and forth a good couple minutes, and I was like, he keeps going, I don't know. So I didn't know if he really read the message or not. I was about to write him a new one, and whenever I scrolled over here, I noticed there's a couple new names since I invaded, and I was like, I don't understand how it happened. So I wanted to lock on to him and make sure that's the same guy I was writing to. Maybe that's why I didn't know. And then the cops showed up. So here come the police. You know, I'm trying to like wave, he's waving. Not sure if he even read the message, but you know, I got shut down there on my deal. So what you're allowed to do, since I wasn't able to get any item for my legs here, you're allowed to ask as many times as you want until you get one, but whatever they give you, that's what you're stuck with. Now it's pretty cool actually if you want to try and always show up naked, because then you don't influence anything they want to drop for you by what you show up like. So and he sends me off to my world again in a fitting manner, which a lot of people do. Usually actually people, I'd say half and half. So a lot of people like to kill you, but some will just wave, and I usually just run off the cliff. Maybe they get a couple souls for it, but also feel free to donate an item to them for the trade if you want. But relying on everyone's goodwill here, I got my build. As you see, I'm equipping everything, and it's important that you want to be able to use your weapon, of course. So as I'm gonna do, I like to respec my character to fit that weapon, and I'm gonna show my stats here. So I'm at soul level 150. Those are my previous stats from the last video, and here are my stats now. So pause it if you need to scrutinize anything, but that's as much as I'm going to show you, and I'm going to get onto the PvP. So everything I upgraded, I always upgrade everything to at least +9. And I'm a starting class of a sorcerer, so you're allowed to use any kind of, if you start out as a caster or something, feel free to use a buff, you know. And remember, it's soul level 150, so you're going to make a sacrifice somewhere. So I pretty much with this, I base it around the weapon. I want to have enough. I don't like to have over 60% of my weight, so in my equipment. So I sort of I sacrificed all my ADP, and I wanted to have at least 40 endurance, because with this weapon, I know I'm going to want to swing it a lot. So you can see I'm getting my butt kicked here in the first one, but that's alright. plenty more to go. I like to try and record like 12 to 15 minutes worth of PvP to put in these videos, so that's my dumb fault for rolling off the edge, but I'm sure he would have killed me anyway. Now here's my second encounter. I'm actually really glad to be off that bridge, because I hate that bridge. I hope I'm not talking too fast too, but you know, actually, it's just this video is flying by while I'm watching it. So here I am, getting my butt kicked a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I know how to use this weapon. I'm not a pro at it, but I like to get a little practice first. So right here, I'm not like panicking, because it's not like, you know, you're dead forever. You can always fight again, but you always hate losing. I'm not afraid to show my losses, but I can see he's like in the spam his little monastery scimitar. So I did a jump attack there, and I would decide to go and lock, because you can always spank people right on the butt with your weapon, because they can't parry you when they're facing away like that. And I was getting them down there. Actually, now I thought I had a chance, and I should have probably unlocked on that one, because I really whiffed. But you know, at the same time, I didn't really think his sword hit me. But you know how the game goes, and no big deal. Alright, so now I see, sometimes I don't know if people have a weapon or not, because of, you know, the invisibility rings, but I can see now he's just throwing punches. And I also, I don't want to, see, I sort of just backed off. I think you sort of get an advantage. I know you really have an advantage with fists getting close to people, you know, if you can, if you have some poison things. But oh, and here I wanted to put this shield to use, because I was sort of sick of carrying that weight around. So I actually used that shield once to get a little kill real quick, and I ditched it for the remaining videos here. So I'm a little bit faster, or I can roll a little farther now without that weight. So of course, you know, he rolls through that attack, and that's one thing with these weapons. You know, he's definitely a little bit faster than mine, so I have to sort of time things a little early. As you see there, I was trying to just hope he'd walk into my swings, but at the same time, I'm also starting to think, okay, more Havels. So, you know, we're on a bridge. Why not just use it to your advantage? You know, win's a win. Victory again. So, actually, just watch this next one. I'm not going to talk, because it's pretty awesome. So I thought that was a pretty good duel, and I got lucky there that I didn't die in the opening scene, but I knew I had to keep a little bit of pressure on him to try and prevent any more casting, and rely on some dodging skills in case he got away and casted something at me. So that worked out pretty good. Now here I'm back to the commentary. I knew this would be a good duel just by the way it looked, and I know right there you hit R2 and it's going to go right over top of him when he's on the ground, but sometimes I just hit R2 too many times. And this is also why I wanted that 40 endurance, so I could get that extra swing, or just have a little bit left in case you got a roll to save your life. But that was a good game. I really liked that guy's setup there. Going into this next one here. So I don't know why sometimes people go that opposite side, but I like to start off across from him. Now, this whole time that I had this weapon, and I thought of one-handing it, maybe like trying to go for a parry. But at the same time, you know, I thought, well, maybe I can just get a parry with it. So I did. And now, like I said, I'm not a pro with this, so I do my little riposte there, and I noticed it didn't take off a ton of damage. So I thought, well, maybe I'm supposed to do something else, like a follow-up with this weapon, but I don't know. Feel free to leave a comment about that and teach me what I don't know about riposting with this Murakumo. But so we're about tied. You know, he has a little bit more health than me, and I'm sure that either way, either one of us could have won, and either disconnected or something happened when he fell down there. But you know, I didn't really understand that. But anyway, back to this whole idea of Goodwill Souls. I actually think it's pretty fun. It took me maybe like an hour to get everything. Usually I get a donation on the first try, but sometimes I don't. And I really never had to ask more than 3 people for one item, so it's a little like nerve-wracking, because I don't like to just go around and ask people for gear, because who knows what they think. But in the end, actually, it's pretty fun, because you're wearing something and you might not even have had it before, so it's a way to add some items to your list. And don't think I just do like maybe 5 fights and I just throw it all away in my box, because I actually do. I've stayed around here and I played with this build for the whole day and the whole next day, so it gives you a lot of practice. Maybe you never used that weapon before, and you might surprise yourself by learning a little bit of a skill with a new weapon, or even a new weapon type. Maybe you're always using strength weapons and somebody gives you something for dexterity. So it's a learning experience too, and I thought it was pretty cool. And now here we have the ultimate showdown, like which sword is better. So we're both buffed. I'd say we're probably like the same soul level maybe, or at least our stats are, because we seem to do about the same amount of damage to each other when we connect. Or maybe he does a little bit more, but either way, you know, it really is a skill of a player, not that a sword is based on which is better just because of the stats, of course, you know. But this is a big showdown here. An arch sword and a Murakumo are like, there's always a debate on it online, at least whenever the game came out there was, on which to use. So I thought it'd be a pretty cool way to wrap up the video there, and I was really hoping I was going to get that win to wrap it up, but unfortunately I whiffed there. As you see, we're doing our little exchanges. I tried to get him there and somehow just missed and caught one to the teeth. But this is the idea of Goodwill Souls. I hope you like it and try it out sometime. It's pretty fun, and you might learn something new and better your PvP game there. So thanks for watching, and take care.